Welcome back to another video, guys. Okay, today we're going to build a inbound call handler. Because Retell's inbound call system works a little bit differently. You have to register the call first through this workflow. So it's like a register call into Retell, and then once that happens, Retell is able to actually make the phone call for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this out, and then we're also going to connect it to Supabase, the SMS storage handler that we built before. And what this will does is that it will give the agent context to the previous interaction the agent has had, or to previous interactions that you have had. The good thing about this is it's a all-encompassing ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that the information circulates within. And because you're using Supabase, that's the benefit of using Supabase. You can attach it to different agents, different systems, just to get the information out. Okay. So what I've done here is I've got some test data. As if you guys follow me now, if you've been following this for long, you'd really know that I prefer to use this test data. What I will do is I will change this is from number. I'll put this as my number. Okay. And then we'll test and execute the workflow. Okay. Good thing about this is the Supabase values have been made in our previous videos. So what we're doing is we're going to connect all the bits of the ecosystem to each other. So what we're going to do is, let's see if this works. All right, so you've got a problem in this node. Even overdue stop, which is frustrating because I just fixed this problem. We use a different agent ID. Cool. So you've got your first webhook, okay? After that, it's going to extract data from that webhook. So which is the timestamp, the call type, agent ID, string, etc. So what you can do, I'm going to leave this in our school.com so you can just copy and paste it. Unsure on how to drag and drop these values, okay? Drag and drop whatever values that you need, blah, 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 okay? And from there, you should be able to configure all of this, okay? This manual mapping, so what you would do is it's edit fields. Oops. That's what this is called. Okay, so it'd be edit fields and call ID. Try and be as specific as possible. Call ID. Because then you can either drag and drop it or just copy and paste. So that's how you do the fields, right? And do the rest concurrently following. Doesn't have to be in that particular order, but it has to be in a certain order. So this is from our Supabase node where we store all our data. So you've got your credentials. So if you need to create a new credentials, so you have your host, which is your HTTP name, HTTP URL, and then you have your service role to secret. So you just enter your service roles to secret in here, which you find in your Supabase API settings. Okay, and you just create the tables and the schemas. If you need help in creating the tables and schemas, we've already set this up in our previous YouTube videos. We're just adding into our ecosystem slowly and slowly, making our ecosystem as robust and compounding as possible. And then from here, this is going to check if the lead exists. So the good thing about this is if it's a new person making that phone call, it will determine if that phone call or that lead was existing or not. That's why it says lead exists. So if check existing lead, so you can leave this as is, but you also have to remember, like, this is I use number, the string. If the string length, if the string does exist or the string doesn't exist. Okay. Sometimes it's easier just to convert types where required. So what ideally that means is whatever value and whatever goal of logic you're trying to get to, it's going to convert it. So if it's like a boolean or if it's like a boolean, or boolean, whatever, if it's like an array or object or string, whatever, yada yada, doesn't matter. It's going to convert it for you. So because this already exists, it's going to merge the details. Okay. Okay. You go combine, position, matching fields, position, all possible combination. Just go by position. Okay. And number of outputs is 2, obviously. Okay. If there's no new one, if you need to create a new lead and the string hasn't been detected here, okay, it's going to create a new lead in here. And the new lead is going to go into Supabase. And once it goes into Supabase, it just logs the call. Okay. So log the call. You've got your Retell ID, which is the call ID that you're going to determine where this call come from. You've got your phone, you've got your lead ID, and you've got your status registered. Okay. And cool. So the Airtable is what we use for the visual for the clients, and the Supabase is what we use to store the data for the clients. Come on. And go leads. Boom. And boom. So I have to use a separate account for that one. Fix that. And if the Airtable leads exists, go through. If it doesn't exist, we'll go through here. Then if it does exist, we're just updating the contact. Okay. So cool. So let us fix this now. So we'll go authorization. And then we'll go bearer. And then what you do is you go here, you copy this, paste this in here. That should work. So that's all. So we need to. So, and there you go. And that is where the inbound call goes. So that has gone through, but because obviously fake numbers not really gonna process through Retell, it just responds to that. Okay, so what we can do as well is we can give this to this lead name, lead ID. So when you're making an inbound call, the URL is register phone call generic type. You don't need this. I've just always just used 11 labs because I just always found that it's the easiest one to get going. You can just delete that, the 11 labs, this, and just put your API keys in that format and then bearer API. Okay. And then there you go. So you've got an inbound calling system. So what we can do now is we can go, hold on. Cool. So now you should be able to take inbound calls. One final thing that you need to do is you need to ensure that you copy this, copy that in there, put that in there. Okay. And there you go. So now you have your inbound calling system. And there you go. Just like that, you've got a inbound calling system. The one that I showed you guys is a little bit more complex because it gives you the ability to choose which agent you want to go to. So ideally how it would work is based on the number or based on the customer or client. If you use this workflow, you can direct which way you want the client to go. Let's just test it out. So you're calling that. Hello?
Hi, Sarah speaking.
Hi, Sarah. I just have a couple quick.
No worries. What would be like?
Cool. So there you go. That is working, and then you've got your inbound system good to go. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you do like, subscribe, and follow along for more.